Good evening and welcome to Tea Time.
Everybody, welcome to Tea Time. It is Monday night, October 9th, and I'm going to talk about my weekend real quick and get to my guests because I'm so excited I have someone in person. Okay, so Friday night was very, very impromptu. My girl Kathy Arnold said to me, hey, you want to take a ride to Connecticut? I'm doing stand-up. So I said, sure. And look who jumped on stage. They asked me if I wanted to do a guest spot. So I did, and yeah, I was on stage. There should be a pic somewhere there, above that one. There you go. I think that's it. Yeah, there I am. So I did like a quick, 5 to 7 minutes. It was a lot of fun. Saturday, we were at the Belmore Theater. That's the next group pick that we're going to show. We showed Gravesend. No, I'm sorry. Look at me. We did The Graveyard Medium, and we did Addiction. And that's, look, Michael's there. We're going to talk to Michael in a little bit, but that's the cast. And then Sunday, I was here, laundry and limo talk. And the special guest was Barbara Held. So just a couple of quick announcements. We have Murdered by the Mob, and that's Ralph Bracco and I in that pick. There I am. I play, I want to say Cookie, but I don't. I'm like losing my mind tonight. I play Bunny. That's my new character that I'm playing. And we're doing Murdered by the Mob on Friday the 13th, this Friday at the Iron Bar in Manhattan in the Secret Room. And on Friday, October 27th at Bourbon Street in Bayside. So you could go to murderedbythemob.com. Also, thank you. Throw that up. There's NYLIF, the New York Life International Film Festival. And we have some films going on there. That's Frank Fiella and I play husband and wife. And that's going to be on the 21st at 5 o'clock in that block. Again, you could go to the website and pick up tickets for that. Rescuing Families is having a sale. That's Gina and Vinny. This is a nonprofit, and they renovate homes for people with disabilities. So if you're in the area, Franklin Square, you want to shop till you drop, the money goes to a great cause. All right, it is Italian Heritage Month, and I seem to have on another fellow Italian-American this week, and it also is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I'll be wearing pink at every show this month. So I am going to introduce him. He's an actor, he's a writer, he's a producer. I've worked indirectly with him. Michael Fedele is here. Hi.
Hi, Theresa. Thank you for having me. And you know, I had you're saying it's Italian Heritage Month.
It is. And Happy Columbus Day for those who celebrate.
And Indigenous people.
Yes.
And I said to myself, actually coming here tonight, I said, you know, it's Italian Heritage Month, and now you have two Italians
in a row, back to back.
You and me today.
Well, that's true.
For 1 hour.
Yes.
We're going to need 3 hours.
I know. Hello, everyone watching. Bruno. Thank you for everyone watching the show. Please like it. Please share it. Tea Time is live every Monday night at 8 o'clock on YouTube and Facebook. Then it goes to Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch TV, everywhere podcasts can be heard and seen every Saturday on Channel 20 at 10 a.m. now for people who live on Long Island and get Optimum Cablevision. So let's talk about you, my friend.
Okay.
You grew up in Elmont.
I did. I grew up in the shadow of Belmont Racetrack and Kennedy Airport to my other side, and I I used to count the planes. They'd come in every 8 minutes, and it would it was like a lullaby to go to sleep at night.
Really?
And the truth of that is I remember like sleeping over aunts and uncles' houses every now and
And
again.
how quiet it used to be.
Yeah, I couldn't get to sleep.
I
I
know.
needed that plane sound, as annoying as it seems to others, you know. So.
No, because my grandparents lived in Flushing by Main Street, and there were a lot of planes that would go overhead, and I would have a hard time falling asleep there when I did, stay over. So I totally get it. You went to Zewanica High School, though, in Floral Park, right?
I did. It's really strange, too, because I was really close to Elmont Memorial.
Yeah, but you weren't zoned for it, right?
It's weird. It's weird.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, because it was like so far to get to Zewanica as opposed to going to Elmont Memorial. It really didn't make sense. But I was blessed because, I really enjoyed a lot of people say they don't like high school or they like college. They didn't like high school. They like high school. They didn't like college. I loved high school.
I did too.
It's just a great group of friends. And
do you keep in touch with any of them? Go to the reunions?
I don't. I really should, but I don't.
Yeah.
And I think that's just life. Life comes in and you have responsibilities and things. I know it's a bad excuse, but it's, I don't.
Yeah, all right.
But I have the best memories. I was so fortunate to go to the school that I went to.
So when you were in high school, did you play any sports or were you into theatrical theater back then too?
Both.
Oh, you did? You did both?
I did both, yeah.
All right.
I played football, nothing great.
Okay.
But I did catch passes from Vinny Testaverde every now and again, which was really cool, yeah.
Wow.
Because he's an Elmont boy,
Yeah.
and he's just a really, really nice person. So that's my claim to fame is...
you and Vinny.
Yeah. So.
So, did you always know, growing up as a kid, that you wanted to act? Always?
The very first thought I had about being an actor, when you're really, really small and you don't go too far from the front door, I was sitting on the stoop.
Okay.
And it was summertime. And I remember I had a little yard that we had with the car.
Yeah.
Then I got off. I remember my sister had this, it was a rocking horse in the garage.
Yeah.
And I got on the rocking horse. So I was a race car driver. Then I was a cowboy. And then there was this box. It was like a refrigerator box from the street that somebody threw out. And I went in there and I started drawing instruments on the inside. And I pretended it was a spaceship.
Right.
And I don't even know how I put myself in the box. Well, because I was small, but I'm
Right.
claustrophobic. I don't like tight spaces.
Yeah.
But I was in that box and I was an astronaut. And then I remember my mom telling me she was making lunch, and I went and had lunch, and I eat the lunch, and I go back on the stoop after lunch, and I said, "Wow, I was a cowboy. I was an astronaut. I was a race car driver," and this feeling of sadness came over me
Okay.
because I recognized at that young age. I said, "You can never do all those things."
Right.
I mean, that's like
Right.
almost of actors, of all I watched everything on television when I was a kid. I couldn't get away from the screen.
Yeah.
And then I realized, if you became an actor, you can do all these things. So that was like the first bug that bit me,
Right.
So it was a good bug.
Yeah. It was. So after high school, though, where did you go? What did you do?
I started college, and it was just community college. It was Nassau Community College. I think I went there. I went there for like 6 months, and I was taking movement classes, history of the theater, scene study, and then I realized in that venue, that first year of college, you're going to be taking all the other things you took in high school.
Right.
And I'm sitting there one day, I'm saying, well, I'm not going to those classes anymore.
Okay.
So I only went everything that pertained, even like Tai Chi classes. Anything that pertained to acting, I went.
Right. I get it.
And then my parents got wind somehow. I
Right.
grew up in an apartment above my grandparents. So I come up the stairs one day, all happy, whistling Dixie. I come up the stairs, and my mother and my father are sitting on the couch. And the first thing I said is, "Who died?" I saw their faces. I said, "Somebody died?"
Yeah.
No. I said, "Well, what's wrong?" "You're not going to all your classes in college. We found out you're cutting out of..." Yeah. And I didn't want to go. So what I did was I went to Herbert Berghoff studio instead.
Yes.
and I studied with Bill Hickey, Prizzi's Honor.
Yeah.
Great man. He was so much fun to have class with him.
Yeah.
Sandy Dennis, I
Okay.
studied with her.
Yeah.
So I went to Herbert Burgo's studio for 4 years, and
Yeah.
that was a good choice.
Better known as HB Studios.
HB Studio.
Everyone calls it HB Studios.
Yeah, that was like Uta Hagen, right?
Yeah,
Uta
yeah,
Hagen.
yeah. And that was, you know, that was back in the day when backstage
Yep.
and looked at open
Open
calls,
calls, yeah,
and
yeah.
you know, it was like back in the day you had something to hold on to
That's
and
right.
circle and go to
Yeah,
and
there were a lot of open calls back then.
a lot.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
So you studied, and then you did some. I know we'll talk about it real quick, but you did some after school specials. Now, I remember coming home from school, doing my homework, getting my snack, and around 4:30, there was
That's
an
when
after
it would
school
come on.
special.
Right.
Because I think All My Children was on from like 1 to 2, and then you had all your soap operas, right? And then General Hospital was on from like 3 to 4, something like that. But at like 4 o'clock or 4:30, the after school specials would come on.
That's right. They had him on Channel 7 and Channel 4.
Yes, and you happened to get cast in a couple of.
Yeah, really small parts.
Yeah,
parts.
but hello, I think we have a pic of one of your first headshots, which you adorable. You're like probably 18 in this pic or something.
Yeah, I think,
that's it.
I think I
Yep.
was 17. I think it was
You're 17. Look at that! Oh my
Yeah,
gosh!
let's see if I can do that again.
Look at you! Oh
at-
my God, you look like a baby.
Yeah, I wish I had the hair.
You still have hair.
I wish I had-
Hello. You still have hair on your
And
head.
my kids always
Thank
make
you.
fun of me. They says, you know, Dad, you still got the same hairstyle. You don't. I go, I stick with what works. That's it. I'm not
Exactly.
budging. No.
So how much fun was it though, being that young and then getting on a professional set? I mean, that was exciting.
It was a learning experience.
I'm sure it was.
You know, you don't realize at that age what really goes into it. You know, and we're always growing. We're always learning, even at this age, what goes into a production.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like in school, you know, they teach you what you need to know as an actor, but until you're on set, you really have no idea.
No, you don't, and that's when it really resonated in me that this is a hurry up and wait industry. I mean, we matter,
Right.
but they matter just as much, if not more.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
because the work they do, I am absolute. When I work on, I just love watching them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's so interesting to me. They do make the magic. They really do.
They do.
So at that young age, yes, you know, just you know what? I forgot to tell you, I was in a movie with Donald Sutherland called Heaven Help Us.
Oh, wow.
So it was like 1965. It was supposed to be 1965 in Brooklyn at St. Basil's High School.
Yeah.
And I had a uniform and all that stuff, but I didn't know. My hair was long at the time.
Okay.
So I get cast for that. It was just a lot of extra work, but I was in really good scenes.
Okay.
So I go there and I get on set. They said, well, I check in. They check me off the list. Okay, Michael Fedele's here. And they said, did you get breakfast yet? There's breakfast because they have craft.
Yeah, they feed you.
Yeah. I mean, I was just.
The real sets, real big sets.
So I go, no, I didn't have breakfast.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's free. That's free. I'm in. So I go and
They're
find.
going to feed me too.
And I go to get the breakfast, and I hear a lady say, no, he can't have any breakfast right now. You need your haircut.
Oh, I was going to say Union eats first.
Yeah, I said, my haircut?
They wanted to cut your hair?
It was 1965, and it was a Catholic school, so everybody had the same. Now, this is the funny part. I'm in wardrobe. I'm in St. Basil's blazer and the pants, like a Catholic school, Catholic school uniform.
Yeah.
And my father was working in Manhattan that day. He said, I'm going to be working in the city. I want to come and see where you're at.
Okay.
Where you are, I should say.
Yeah.
So I come out of this church, and literally there's hundreds of us that look the same because we all have the same haircuts, the same outfit.
Yeah.
And I see my father just like looking.
He didn't.
Like,
he
and
couldn't
I'm waving.
find
He
you.
couldn't find me. So it was a nice experience too.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's hysterical. So you acted, and you have great creds here. But you kind of like, a lot of us in the business, we kind of leave and we come back to it. Because life happens, right?
It does.
And we were discussing this before, but there are a lot of people out there who are working actors, but still need to work a full-time job to supplement, bills. There are a lot of actors out there who are established actors who are real estate agents who work in the restaurant industry at night. So they are available during the day to audition or whatever. So you were working, you were raising a family, you were doing what you had to do. And then you came back. You came back. You said, I want to act. And back in 2005, you did something called Blood Relic.
Yeah, that was just a really small part, but it had a few lines.
You
It
played
was
a
cool. I
mechanic.
played a mechanic,
Yeah.
and I get on the set, and they were filming it. They were shooting that at the Cradle Aviation Museum.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And I'm a mechanic on a fighter jet, and you know, I'm just under there, and I'm telling them there's problems with the Mach 3. We're gonna have to update and all this kind of I don't know what else I was saying, and I even think I pissed off the director or someone because they were like, this guy sounds like he's from Brooklyn. You know, we're gonna have to upgrade to the Mach 3. That's what I said. You know, we got a problem. We're gonna have to upgrade to the Mach 3.
Right.
And he's like, I remember the face. I was like, geez. I said, we're going to have to upgrade to the Mach 3. You know,
Right.
I had to think.
Well, because you know what it is when I filmed something and I said, the first thing I ask is, do you want me to lose the New York accent? Because I know when I speak fast, it worse.
Comes out.
Yeah, it comes out. But if I'm aware of it, I could get rid of it. And they're like, no, keep it. And I'm like, thank you. Yeah. You know, so much easier. But there are times when, you know, I catch myself and I'm like, oh, I really not supposed to sound like that.
Well, you know, you do have to know when to turn it on and turn it off.
Yes, you do.
You really have to be aware of that.
Yeah.
It's difficult. I mean, I get lazy all the time, but I don't care. I love it. I love it. I actually have friends from England. They always say, you know, Michael, we really love your accents, you know. Meanwhile, they're parking in the garage.
The garage.
And they're going to queue. We're going to be queuing now. I didn't know what the hell queuing was.
What's queuing?
Waiting in line.
Oh, queuing is waiting in line?
I was out with them in
that's
Manhattan
funny.
like years
that.
ago. I said, I have to park the car. I said, okay, Michael, we'll be queuing over here.
Oh, that's so
I
funny.
said, queuing? And I didn't have like a phone that could tell me what the hell queuing meant. I thought they were going to shoot pool or something.
Oh, that's funny. Shoot pool. Oh, my God. Then in 2007, you did Spiker, which you played a deputy.
Deputy McLean.
McLean, yeah.
That was a fun part.
Yeah.
That was a really, really fun part. And I played opposite Lou Martini from The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lou was great to work with. Funny story with Lou, back then we were shooting on I think it was a Saturday. And we're in this Fort excursion, and we're transporting a prisoner. And before they said action, me and Lou were just talking, and I said to him, and what happened was that next Sunday, the next day, was the finale of The Sopranos.
Okay.
So I said to Lou, tell me what's going to happen tomorrow night. So Lou looks at me. He said, what?
That's funny.
Yeah. He said, what? I said, yeah. I said, I can't wait. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
You know? He said, I can't tell you.
Yeah.
I said, Lou, it's me. We're sitting here talking. You could tell me. And he said,
NDA, baby.
Yes. These are things I need to know.
Right.
You know, I did not know.
I know. I didn't know either until you find out about them.
Now he says, Michael, I can't tell you a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I was in Spiker. That was fun. I get crucified in that film, actually.
Wow.
Which was a lot of fun. And I didn't realize until then that for weeks later I was against the wall with my arms over my head.
Yeah.
For this, last scene.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that crucifixion is like you actually die from asphyxiation. You can't keep your hands over your head that long.
Right.
So my rib cage was killing me for like weeks.
Wow.
Like a good 2 weeks later, my ribs felt like somebody beat me up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not fun.
No, that wasn't.
All right, so here's an interesting fun fact. You ready?
Yeah.
In 2019, you did a movie called Interview with a Hitman, which was Fred Carpenter's movie, correct?
That's right.
And guess who was in that too? Me.
Were you in that? How come I didn't see you? I have a small part. I get.
I had a small part too. I was a hooker.
Really?
I had speaking. I had lines, but I was a hooker.
What a surprise!
But isn't that funny? Because
That
I
is
was
funny.
like,
I didn't know
Interview
you
with a
were in it.
Hitman.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't know
Did
you
you
were
ever
in
see
it
that
either.
film? Did you ever see
I
it?
did.
How was it?
It was good.
Was it good?
I think it was good. I'm gonna say Fred Carpenter. It was good. It was definitely good.
Okay.
It was definitely good. Before we continue, we're gonna take my first break, but don't go away. More with Michael when we get back.
See you in a bit.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
All right. Is everybody having a good time tonight or what? That's what I thought.
Well, hi there, Theresa. It's John York from General Hospital. I am just checking in because apparently you have a great talk show called Ttime on Strong Island TV. I want you to have continued great success and have a lot of fun. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun, and that's pretty much the key to everything, isn't it? So continued success. I'm proud of you. Have a great day, Theresa. Bye.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time. That's John York from General Hospital. He's battling cancer right now, so prayers go out to you, John. I am with Michael Fedele. He's an actor, he's a writer, he's a producer. We worked on a project together, but we didn't have any scenes together, and I'm hoping in the future we will. And talking about his career, how he grew up in Elmont and went and studied at HB Studios, started out in some after-school specials that I remember watching as a kid, and then Interview with the Hitman, which we both did, but didn't have any scenes together, so now that's two.
Now I know.
That's two. And then in 2019, you did Emissary, which you actually wrote and produced, correct?
Yes.
And that was based on a true story.
There is.
Right?
It's loosely based on a true story.
Loosely.
The heart of it
Yeah.
is the true story. So like the real.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wrote around that, and it's
So does October 16th, 1969 have a significant?
absolutely the New York Mets. New York Mets.
Yeah.
They won the World Series.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I thought that there might be something else other than that. Okay, just checking.
Yeah. So
All right.
it was. I don't want to talk a lot about it.
Yeah. We don't have
I'm going
to.
to tell you why, because what I want to do is I want to revisit Emissary.
Resurrect it, so to speak.
And I am.
Yeah.
And I am.
That's exciting.
It is probably.
It's your baby.
Yeah, and it's so near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
That I look so forward to doing it again. It's on a shelf right now.
Right.
It's good,
Yeah.
but I think it could be better. That's all I'll say about that. you know,
Okay.
and
All right. Good. And then in 2022, again, you also co-wrote and produced Sfortunato, correct?
yes.
And you played Vincent Esposito.
That's correct. That's correct.
And you've won some Best Acting Awards for that as well.
Yeah, I have. I think I won. Let me think here. Venus. Which is a Katrina's.
Yeah.
That's a cutting room.
Yes.
Why am I drawing? Point Lookout, Bright Side Tavern. I won some Best Actors there.
Yeah.
And I did that with Deborah Markowitz.
Yes.
Deborah Markowitz.
Shout out to Deborah.
Yes, Deborah. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank
You
you for
worked
Sfortunato and everything else.
Yes.
I sent her the script, and I loved it. It's just me. I mean, listen, I did it. I loved it. Why not? Even if you don't like it, I still like it. So I really loved the script,
Yeah.
and then I really thought my ending was like, damn, this is Twilight Zone over here.
Okay.
This is really Twilight Zone-y.
And it was changed?
And Deborah sent it back to me.
Yeah.
And she actually became Rod Serling at the end.
Okay. All right.
I read her ending and I was like, mine worked, but this works much better.
Right.
Much better.
Right.
So she was kind enough to do all the legwork for me because, I'm really green when it comes down to her
writing,
education.
yeah, the
So she
writing.
changed it up, and she was able to cast it with Frank.
Right.
Frank
Fiala.
Frank Fiala, and as my brother.
Yeah.
And it's really funny. One of the people in it also is, as you know, is E.J. Acosta.
Yes.
He plays.
I met him in acting
Stosh.
school.
Yes.
Yeah.
He plays Stosh. He was great in it too. And he also did the sound. Everybody Wears a Million Hats.
Yes,
On
yes.
independent short films.
Yeah.
But Deborah really did a lot of justice to that.
Yeah.
And she helped me a lot
Well,
with
I
that
hope
film,
to work,
and also
I
worked
hope
with the
to work with
Gradens.
her one day too.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah. The Gradens were involved with
yeah.
that too. They were great too.
And before we talk about what you completed with her, because there's a laundry list here, let's give shout out to Maria Filippone, because Maria did Graveyard Medium, which unfortunately we were going to play clips, but we had some technical difficulty. But Graveyard Medium, you're in it, I'm in it, a bunch of people are in it. It was a short film. We filmed it on Long Island, and that's the one we just showed on
Saturday.
at Belmore Theater. And then you did Addiction, which was followed. It was two short films followed by each other. And then you did Addiction, which was amazing. It was basically a play.
It was a play originally written by John Pasadino.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was just basically one person on stage doing his thing, and Maria had asked him if I can take it and tweak it, make it into a short.
That's
and he
correct.
basically said, do whatever you want with it, which was amazing, because then he added Lilo to it, and which really, I think, gave it more depth.
It did. It definitely did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it was shot beautifully. I think you were amazing. Incredible. You did it. You said it in one day, correct?
Yeah, we shot it in one day in Seacliff, and it was a long day. It was a difficult piece to do.
Yeah. Because it's really like almost a monologue.
It's like Shakespeare. I mean, it's to get all that down, and I battle a autoimmune sickness, and at the time I was really going through that autoimmune where I lost hair on my head.
Yes.
My memory was shot.
Yeah.
And I was frustrated, and I'm playing an addict. I'm not going to tell anybody what kind of an addict he was.
Yeah, you have to see
the film.
Yeah.
But he had an addiction. So this guy is going through hell in his own mind.
Right.
And I was battling something totally different. So it kind of worked in my favor that I was so frustrated with my own sickness.
Yeah.
And it worked well, I thought, with my character.
I think it was beautifully done.
Yeah, thank
really,
you.
really.
Yeah, Maria Filippone, thank you very much. And your husband Tony, you guys did a great job with that film. I appreciate the opportunity very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was great, because you're watching it and you're wondering, what it is, and then you find out. So it was great. And then you did again Deborah with Deborah Markowitz. You did The Only Woman in the World.
I had a small part in that.
Yes.
Yeah, small part in that.
You did The Better Man.
We did Sfortunato. We did Better Man. Better Man is Henry and Ann Stample.
Yes.
That's their film.
Yes.
And Henry had this idea, and he wanted to see a film out of it. So I gave one draft.
Yeah.
And Deborah did the second one, and Deborah's was more of what he was looking for.
Right.
And that was tough too. That was also a monologue. I mean, I had Steve Strangio, Heidi Crane, and Rob Graydon as the parole board. And
Steve was in that. I remember.
Yeah. I was up for my parole.
Right.
And I was really struggling for what I did.
Yes.
And,
I loved it.
I didn't even know you saw it.
Yeah, because I saw it at the
I think Jersey,
festival.
in Jersey, right?
I think they showed it there too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
when we were there in Jersey. You also did One Last Time.
One Last Time, I loved.
Yes.
Yeah. Deborah did a good.
Yeah,
that was great.
they're all fantastic. Really.
One Last Time was a lot of fun. That was with Eddie McGee and Stacey Van Gordon. Stacey Van Gordon.
And then you did a couple of guys. Right?
Yeah, I play a bartender in a couple of guys.
We have a couple of picks. Bobby, just throw them up. We'll just throw up the picks and just go through them. There's okay, that's the one that you wrote and co-produced, correct?
That's correct.
And that's
with
that
Deborah,
one.
we both wrote that.
And then there's the One Last Time.
Yeah, I loved that film.
I loved it too.
Yeah, that was great.
Yes, I did. I saw it in Jersey. Okay,
that's new. That's a film called The Mansion that we shot in the latter part of the summer.
This was recent. Yes.
Yeah, that's a film by Ernie Abucci.
Uh-huh.
And
Thank you.
the usual suspects were on that crew, which was fun. Working with John Marine and the Greydons
yeah.
and EJ
Yeah.
and Manny Serrano.
Yeah, it's nice when you know everyone.
Yeah.
It's almost like an extended family.
It really
isn't
is.
It?
It really
you
is.
know, and everyone gets so very comfortable, and I think that's when everyone's work really shines.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just, I'm so blessed at this age to say that I get a chance to do what I really love
We
with
talked
all my
about
heart.
this. I know.
And you know what? I look at life like this. We don't know what tomorrow brings, none of us. And the way the world's going today, my prayers for everybody
Yes.
today, because
Yes,
what's going on in the world is
absolutely.
just it's heartbreaking.
It is. It's heartbreaking.
But going on a set with all these people, just it's such a nice feeling. And like I said, I'm blessed to do that.
Yeah.
And if my world were to end tomorrow or tonight, you want to know something? I tried.
I think about the same
Right.
thing, considering how close I've been there. But
your stories, oh my God.
But I think about the same thing.
Yeah.
Like you walk out that door in the morning and you hope you're coming home.
That's right.
I mean, that's the bottom line.
Right.
And how fragile life really is.
It is. And doing these things, I don't want to be the person when the ghosts come to me and say, the ghost of I should have done this. Say, Michael, you're laying here now. We're the time's up, and you should have done this, and I don't want to be that thing. And I want to prove. I'm 60 years old. Okay, I'm going to be 61 in a couple of days.
Couple of days, the 11th, and happy birthday.
Right.
2 more days.
It's P.O. Box 255. Check birthday card. Anybody?
His birthday's the day before my brother's. Yes.
But I was saying I want to be able to prove to myself, but I also want to be able to leave something behind.
Ditto. Like, I couldn't have said it better.
Right. We can't take what we have with us.
No, we can't. We leave the world the way we came in, with nothing.
Right. And you know what's really funny? Because in 100 years from now, think about this for a second. 100 years from now, someone else is going to be living in your house, right?
Yeah.
And when you think about it, most of the people you know aren't going to be here either.
Correct.
Okay? Pretty much everybody you know is not going to be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So why not do what you really love? And everybody has these dreams or ambitions and hopes. And I always tell people, what are you doing about it?
Right.
Oh, I'd like to do this one day.
Don't would have, should have, could have.
Yeah.
Because time runs out so fast.
So I've been
That's
on
why I told you. I say yes all the time because you don't know where it's gonna.
Yeah, this is the yes
lead
lady
you.
over here.
I'm like, yes, I am.
Let's see if it works. You got 5,000?
No.
Liar.
I'll say yes and somehow come up with it. Oh my gosh. You also did a TV miniseries, if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's called When We First Met. Was that like a little TV miniseries?
When we first met, is that? Why did I?
I don't know, but I have it written down because it was on IMDb. So I figured, let me write it down.
I think that was Deborah Markowitz too, but I forgot.
Oh, okay. Well, that
forgot.
probably under the same umbrella. Yeah. You also wrote and acted in 2 PSAs for suicide prevention.
Yes.
Which also won an awards.
Yeah, Distracted Driving won a national award.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the one clip that we do have, that was from one of them?
The one clip you have.
That was from another one.
That's
that wasn't suicide
I had just put that
prevention.
on social media. That is for this month, which is domestic
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 violence. Yes.
violence.
So we have a PSA for domestic violence. Can we play that, please?
Can't believe it's been a year.
The time flies, kid. I mean, time most definitely flies. You need to know something. You got to stop beating yourself up over this thing. This is not your fault.
It is, though.
It's not your fault.
Indirectly, it is, though. I should have done something. I should have told someone. I could have told someone. I just didn't.
Listen, why don't we get out of here? Why don't we go do something? What do you want to do? Let's spend the day together. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go?
I want to go see my father.
I don't get it.
What don't you get?
You still come here to visit him.
He's still my father.
I know. I know he's your father. He's also my brother, but listen, maybe it's just me. I just don't get it. I don't get it. You still come and see this guy. I just can't put it all together in my head. I'm sorry.
Uncle Mike, he's just a sick man, and I lost both my parents on that day, and they're just in different places.
Wow, that is so powerful.
I'm glad you liked it.
It really is.
Yeah.
Really is. I have, you know, everyone's, I don't want to say everybody, but people know somebody if they didn't experience it themselves of some kind of domestic violence. Either you know somebody in a situation, it's very hard for them to get out, which I've known. My grandfather was an alcoholic and he was very abusive to my grandmother. And I remember crying to her saying, please come live with us. Stop living with him. And why do you stay with him? And she would say,
stayed.
Back then you didn't get divorced. You stayed. But there was a time where she did come live with us for a short amount of time and ended up going back. And I was heartbroken for her. You know what I mean? It was the sickest love-hate relationship I've ever seen in my life. And it you know, watching this, it just remind you that there are outlets to go to now. And yes, it is Domestic Violence Month, and there's a lot of commercials that I've been seeing also, and to let people know that you're not stuck, that there are, you know, places to go and people to talk to. I think it's very, very important. And the suicide prevention as well that you did. Just explain that a little bit, because you did that with some students. And the ending scene, which unfortunately we don't have, is when the dad hugs the son. And then the camera pulls out.
That's the distracted driving one?
That's also distracted. Okay.
That was distracted driving. It's a father with his son. That was actually on Channel 7 News.
Yes, that one I watched.
And I'm driving a car, and my son is in the back seat, and my wife calls me, and I get another call coming in. I tell her I put her on hold. I want to see who this is, and I go, let me see who it is. I look down, and the kid says, Dad, 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 and the screen goes black. And in the next scene, I'm sitting in another car with my son.
Yeah, but I'm all excited because he's okay, and
he's
everything's great. Everything's great.
And my son looks at me. I said to him, "Are you ready?" And I touch his chest like this.
Yeah.
And he said, "I'm ready. Are you ready?"
Right.
And I go, "Yeah." And then we go to a field,
ballpark.
and I'm throwing a ball to my son. You see the camera's behind his glove. He's catching the ball.
Yeah.
And as the camera fades back, you see he's in a wheelchair.
Right.
So what I did was I took my eyes off the road, which you can for a split second.
Yeah.
I've done it.
We all have.
Yeah, and
it's not good.
And it's not good.
No.
And it was because distracted driving. So I have to live with this the rest of my life. So that was the whole premise of that PSA.
They're very powerful.
Yeah.
I think they all, you know, had that. Definitely got a message across.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost
Thank
like
you.
a wood shampoo, a smack upside the
Yes.
head. Hey, what are you doing?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. You know, kind of like it's got to wake you up. You know? All right, listen, we're going to take my second break. When we come back, more with Michael. There's so much more here. Don't go away.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
All right. Is everybody having a good time tonight or what? That's what I thought.
How you doing? It's Sal the Voice Valentinetti. Why are you watching me? You should be watching Theresa Canastraci Tea Time with Theresa Canastraci Farrell. And make sure you follow Theresa on Facebook, Tea Time with Theresa Canastraci Farrell. We'll see you there.
I love the way you say my name. I love. Hey everybody, welcome back to Tea Time. I want to thank some people for watching. We have Cheryl and Bruno, Fran, and Mickey, Elizabeth. Thank you everyone for watching the show. Please like it, please share it. I'm with my friend. He's an actor, he's a writer, he's a producer. Michael Fedele is with me talking about his comeback career and all the fabulous things that he's been doing and a couple of things that we did together but not together. Like we were on set but not on set together, and we're looking forward to working, actually doing a scene together in the near future. We so are. And I want to talk about what you have coming up, because I heard something about some kind of horror anthology, which sounds really cool.
Okay, so I don't know what it's about. I wish I had an answer.
It's okay.
But I know it's
there are 5 different Long Island directors. You're going to be playing 5 different characters.
That's what I've heard. I know.
I know what you know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're on the same. You guys learned nothing just now. So,
but it's cool.
It is cool. It is cool. It is very cool. Yeah.
And we talked before the show, but I'm gonna ask you because a lot of things that you do work in, get cast, is are very serious roles. But
I'm very dark.
I know you want to do comedy in the future, and that you have done a little bit in the past.
I have done a little bit in the past. You know, I think it also depends upon the writing. I mean, it's all about the writing.
Yes.
You get somebody who could write comedy. You know, because I mean, I have a good sense. I think I have a good sense. I enjoy time by myself, so I must have a great sense of humor. I have a good sense of humor, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, I have a lot of stories to tell.
Right.
You know, and I'm grateful for all those stories.
Yeah.
But I would love. Yeah. Years ago, I did a couple of films, very amateur.
Okay.
But they were comedy.
Right.
And they were funny as hell.
Yeah.
And I got a good laugh at it. I would love to do
but
comedy.
But it's good because it's nice. It's nice to stretch yourself.
Yes.
You know what I mean. So tell me about this new script that you're creating and writing with Deborah Markowitz. It has something to do with Christmas.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I have a very soft spot for Christmas.
Yeah. So do I.
Yeah. I think most of us do.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a pulse, and change his channel if you don't know.
And I still believe in Kris Kringle.
Okay.
I do.
There you go.
Yes, I do.
Well, I years ago I met Deborah Markowitz because I hounded her with a Christmas idea.
That's what we have to do.
I really beat the hell out of her with a Christmas idea. Oh. And this is going back. I mean, it's got to be like maybe I'm wrong, close to 10 years. It has to be.
Okay, yeah.
And she was too busy because she had the job with the commissioner of Nassau County, the film commissioning.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. And the story is, the way I finally was able to meet her was we were just going back and forth in one phone call, and then we were going back and forth in emails. Oh. So she kept blowing me off because I know she's busy, but I don't care.
Right.
Not that I don't care that you're not busy.
Right.
But my thoughts in life is, well, why not me? Why not talk to me? You can talk to me.
Correct.
So she was, I'm busy. So then I said to her on an email, I said, I would like to come by, visit you, and just get you a coffee. And she said, well, I'm busy. She said, so I'm sitting there watching the email. She said, well, I'm busy. I said, and I sent her this back. I'll never forget it. I sent her back, I know you're busy. We're all busy. I said, but that wasn't the question. The question was, how do you want your coffee? And I hit send.
Oh.
And when I hit send, I said, she's either going to really just lose it.
Right.
Or she's going to tell me how she likes her coffee.
Right.
So I was blessed to find out how Deborah liked her coffee that day. So,
that's great.
And that's how I met Deborah.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for Deborah, I wouldn't know the people that I've met today, like Maria Filippone and all these other people, because I wasn't on Facebook, I wasn't on Instagram or any of that stuff. I hated social media.
Well, he is now.
Yeah, I am now.
So now that you mentioned it, if you do want to follow him or know what he's doing, he is on Facebook. His name's at the bottom of the screen, Michael Fedele. And you're on Insta as Michael J.
Right.
Fedele. So, you could always see what he's doing, check it out. Mm-hmm. You always have a film somewhere.
Yeah, always doing something. Yeah. But it was, she actually told me, Deborah Margaret, she said, no, you have to be on these things. You need to meet people. You need to get people out there, blah, blah,
Well,
blah,
then,
blah,
you
blah.
know, it's,
And she was right.
Again, it's about networking,
Yeah.
putting yourself out there, meeting people. I mean, you can't just do the work and then, hide under your covers.
That's correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you got some really, really good advice from Mr. Robin Williams.
I did.
Years ago. Can you tell me that story?
Sure. I was going to HB Studio, and if I didn't pick up backstage and find like an open call, a casting call somewhere, I would go right to school. So one day I picked up backstage, nothing was happening. I started to walk down to Bank Street, and I saw they were filming Moscow on the Hudson with Robin Williams.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, Michael, do you go to school or do you hang out and watch Robin Williams? So I decided to watch Robin Williams.
School will be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Robin won't be.
Robin won't be. So,
Yeah.
So I watched Robin Williams, and then I saw where he was going after he was done. They were filming a late night, early morning.
Yeah.
And he went into a trailer. So I'm watching him go into this trailer, and the door shut, and I watched the door shut, and I said to myself, okay, Michael, we're going to wait here until he comes out.
Wow.
And there was nobody around. It was literally about an hour and 50 minutes later, and he just came out of the trailer and sat on the top step. And I walked across the street, and I said, "I want to introduce yourself. I'm not a nut. I'm not a
Right.
stalker.
I'm normal. I'm a normal
I said,
person."
I go to Herbert Burgo Studio. I said, and I go to HB. I really would just like to pick your brain for a while, and I did. He was the sweetest, most kindest, generous person. Everything that people have said about him for probably the less than 10 minutes he gave me, it felt like eternity for what he gave me.
Right.
And just guidance, just patience.
Yeah.
You need patience. These are the steps you have to do. And then the beauty of the story for me was, at that young age, I laughed because he said, now, if I were you, sir, I would head downtown and get to my later classes. Don't miss them.
Right.
And I said, thank you, Mr. Williams. And I went to shake his hand. And as I went like this to shake his hand, he went like this, and he pulled back and went, nanu, nanu. So that's my Robin Williams story.
I love that story, though.
And
it's priceless.
It is. He was
It
great.
really is.
He was
And aren't you
great.
glad you missed those couple of classes?
You bet.
Oh, boy.
You bet. Yeah.
Wow.
I missed a couple of classes for a lot of good things. And those are things you'll never get back.
Exactly.
You'll never get back.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell
It's living life with no regrets.
It is. I'll tell you the truth, and I kid you not. Everybody needs money to live.
Yes.
Okay, we know that.
Yes.
Right now, if you said, Michael, in this studio, there's a bag there with $1 million in cash, I will open up that briefcase and I will show you that $1 million cash. You know how it could help your future. You know what it can do for you.
Yeah.
You want to know something? If you told me we can give you the $1 million, but we're going to take away the memories that you have. Auditioning for Robert De Niro at the Ed Sullivan Theater, standing on stage for him and Sergio Leone. Did I get anywhere? No, I didn't.
But you had that experience.
But I had that. If you gave me that bag, I would turn it down. You want to know why? I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah, I care about paying the bills. I care about gas prices.
I get it.
I just want what's here.
Yeah.
And I want that
and stay there and never lose it.
It's the greatest gift we have is our memory.
I know.
I think of my father.
Yeah.
The greatest memories in the world.
Yeah.
And I celebrate my father every single day, and he's been gone so long.
Yeah.
I celebrate him every single day.
I do that with my grandmother.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's how close I was with her.
Yeah.
All right, listen, we're going to go. My last commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about being Italian Sunday dinner, Sunday around 2 o'clock. What happens around 2 o'clock on a Sunday? We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Wonder Woman was everything to little girls, especially that look like me. She stands for being a voice for people that need a voice. My organization renovates homes for people with disabilities. And when I come home, a self-care routine makes me feel my best. I'm very proud of the difference that we're making, and to see that impact in my community inspires me to work even harder for everyone around me.
Doc, who's the best comedian you know?
Theresa Farrow.
And who's the best actress you know?
Theresa Farrow.
And who's the best cast member in Bad Boys?
Theresa Farrow.
Who's got the best radio?
Theresa Farrow.
Doc, Who's your favorite Guinea?
Teresa Farrell.
Who do you loving right now?
Teresa Farrell.
All right, Suck. I love you too, baby.
Love you as always.
Thank you.
Something.
Okay. Hey, welcome back. Let's talk about Sunday sauce. Go.
Okay, real Sunday sauce, really quick. Years ago, I wrote something called Traditional Consumption. We were talking earlier over a meal.
Yeah.
I want to do that again.
Traditional consumption.
It's about growing up Italian at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You're dressed like it's Christmas or Thanksgiving, and everybody in God's creation comes over. That's blood to you, and they come and eat dinner with you every Sunday too.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. It actually is comedic, so you would enjoy it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? It
So
sounds like my house on a Sunday.
So that's what that's about.
All right. So tell me about. Thank you. Tell me about this Christmas script.
Okay, I love Christmas, like we said earlier, and me and Deborah is writing right now.
Yes, it's exciting.
She took some of the thoughts that I have, my ideas that I have, and she's just made them sweeter, nicer, added her own stuff to it because that's what she does.
Yep.
And
she sprinkles the magic.
Yeah, she really does. And she, there was an old album with Elton John and Bernie Taupin. It was called Two Rooms, Separate Rooms. It was about how they write together.
Okay.
So I don't really do a lot of writing with the Christmas stuff. It's just kind of ideas that come to my head.
Right.
And then she builds a whole story around these ideas. So thank you, Deborah Markowitz, for doing this for me. She believed in me, and I wouldn't know all the people I do if it wasn't for her. And I want the whole world to enjoy a different kind of Christmas. They're just more powerful, more real, and a little bit different than Hallmark, where they go to kiss and somebody walks in, that kind of thing.
Right.
These are just very sweet stories that are being created right now. I don't want to give anything away. They're in the safe right now, and it's hush hush until we move forward. But they're 2 features, and I know they're going to be made, and I know it's going to happen. It's great
exciting.
stuff.
I got put out into the universe.
Yes.
That's what I say. All right, so we only have like 3.5 minutes left. So who did you want to thank, mention, or what you got going on?
Well, I want to thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. This was fun.
Thank you.
I know we can go for a couple of more hours, but we can't.
But you're going to come back.
I'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah. He'll be back.
For the people that I've mentioned, you know who you are. Thank you for the opportunities that you've given me, and I'm glad that I could give you something back in return. Who do I want to thank? Oh, thank you again for Maria Filippone for Addiction. It was.
And you're up for an award for that, correct?
Yeah, coming up. I think it's like one of the first ones she gave it to, which is what you're going to that festival, right?
The Nylif.
Nylif,
yes. Yeah.
That's up for. Two awards, or 3,
so,
Best Director, and I'm up for a Best Actor for that. And it was a very challenging role, and I almost bailed out of it. And Maria said, "Michael, you've got this. Come on, you can do this." And Lilo Grunwald is in it, and Lilo plays my wife in it, and she's wonderful. She was supportive. It was a tough piece, like I said, but I'm grateful to have done it. So everything's cool. Everything's good, and
that's good.
And I'm happy to be doing what I
you
love.
Yeah.
I do work another job. I work at nights, and I'm by myself. I have a great group of guys.
And Michael and I have been talking a long time about him doing my show, but he's like, I can't.
It's always work.
I'll let you know when I'm off. And then he's like, I'm off Monday the 9th. And I'm like, I'm putting you in, because I got to get him when I can.
But I thank you. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming in. And again, Michael Fedele, you can watch him on Facebook. You could go to Michael J. Fedele on Insta. And that's when, you list everything that is going on. And yes, you can look up Nylif Film Festival. You could see him in Addiction. You could see The Graveyard Medium. There's a bunch of films.
Better Man's still out there. I believe Sfortunato is still going out there.
Everything's still out there.
Yeah, everything's still out there at the film festival. So hopefully I'll post some things where you can go see these films,
And it's Love Bro is the rom-com that I did, and Frank Fiella plays my husband, and I'm actually nominated also.
Congratulations.
Which I woke up in shock to be nominated for Best Comedic Performance or something.
And you deserve it.
I don't know what it is.
No.
Oh, thank you.
She's funny as hell. You guys probably all know her. She's funny as hell. But
I try.
But I
do like serious roles too, and I've done them, and I like you've done a lot more serious than less comedy, where I do more comedy than serious. But we've done it all. We have.
Yeah. But I thank you, our local film community.
All the people who do indies.
You guys are great, and I love how it's just a good thing. Like it's
It
a
is,
family.
It is.
It's great.
It's a tribe. It's a community.
Yeah, and
It
I
is.
love to see people supportive of one another.
Yes,
and,
definitely.
And I love to see what you guys are doing out there, and that's why I share some of the things that I've done as well. And I thank you for having me tonight.
I enjoyed this, and I hope
Thank
you
you.
did too.
I
And
did,
definitely,
yeah.
my door's always open. You
Cool.
know that. And I'm going to see you in a couple of weeks at the festival.
Yes.
And it's going to be fun. In the meantime, I want to thank everyone for watching Tea Time. I really appreciate the love, the support. I am nominated for Beth Page Best of Long Island.
That's a tongue twister.
And you can go to that website and vote for Tea Time. What else? That's it. I just want to say that my prayers and thoughts are with everyone in the Middle East. I have friends.
Absolutely.
I have friends in Israel, and just pray, people, pray for peace. My mother always said, as long as there's hate, there'll be war. And I don't care what religion you are, what nationality you are, what your political views are. We have to remember that we're all human beings. That's the bottom line. And I'm just praying for peace. And in the meantime, tell everyone you love them. And I'll see you next week. Ciao, everybody.